Ang pangpaprank niya ang dahilan ng kanyang pagkamatay. There are moments in life when a single second, a single decision can change everything. Moment when instinct takes over reason, when fear drowns clarity, and what we believe becomes more real than what actually is. But what happens when that belief is wrong? Can a man be punished for a crime he never intended to commit? This is the story of United States versus Achong, a case that would define the meaning of criminal intent and reshape the way justice sees human error. It was the year of 1908, inside the Fort McKinley, under the quiet watch of the American military presence in the Philippines, lived a man named Achong. Hindi siya sundalo, not a man of rank or authority. He was a cook, a simple worker living a simple life. By day, he prepared meals for officers. By night, he rested in a small, cramped room at the back of the quarters. He shared the room with another man, Pascual Gualberto. Doon sa bahay na yon, walang ibang natutulog kundi si Achong at Pascual. Pascual was a houseboy, younger, playful, and perhaps a bit careless. But they lived together peacefully until one night everything changed. Their room was far from secure. There was no proper lock on the door, no bolt, no latch, only a small hook. At ginagamit din nilang pangsara ng pinto ang isang upuan. Isang upuan against the door na pumipigil sa sino mang nasa labas para pumasok sa loob ng kwarto ni Achong at ni Pascual. And the world outside was not safe. The robberies had become common. Stories of break-ins, whispers of intruders moving silently through the dark were not just rumors. They were real. Because of this, Achong slept every night with a knife under his pillow. Not because bayolenteng tao si Achong, but dahil natatakot siya para sa kanyang sarili. Natatakot siya para sa kanyang seguridad. In August 14, 1908, mga bandang 10:00 ng gabi, the night was still, tahimik. In fact, sobrang tahimik. Nang biglang na lamang nagising si Achong sa tunog na para bang merong tao sa labas ng pintuan kung saan siya natutulog. Na para bang may taong pumipilit na buksan ang kanilang pintuan. At remember, ang kanilang pintuan is flimsy. At the only thing that locked their door is a small hook and again, a heavy chair that barricaded the inside of the door. Half asleep, heart pounding, he called out, "Who is there?" Silence. No answer. Again louder. This time, sinong nasa labas? Still, the person outside is not answering. At that moment, kinain na si Achong ng takot niya because patuloy ang kaluskos sa labas ng pintuan. It's not just a mild fear, not uncertainty, but a kind of fear that grips your chest and refuses to let go. Because in his mind, there is only one explanation. It was the robber, the intruder, and someone is breaking in to harm him. With desperation rising, he shouted for the third time, "If you enter the house, I will." However, the person outside seems to be unbothered by his shouts. The door gave way with a force that is applied by the person outside. The chair slumped forward and it struck his knee. The pain naturally shoot through his body. Confusion, darkness, panic. Achong felt these mixed emotions, and in that instant, Achong was certain he was under attack. Without hesitation, without sight, without knowing, he reached under his pillow. He grabbed the knife that he always kept there to protect himself and struck the silhouette of the person in front of him. The figure staggered back, and then that figure fled. There was no scream, there was no struggle, there's no fight against the person, the silhouette, and the chong. Only movement fading into the night. When the figure fled, naturally a chong followed to run after that figure. His breathing is heavy. His hands trembles. At dahil sa ilaw ng maliwanag na buwan, naininag niya ang taong nagtangkang pumasok sa kwarto niya. Tumayo ang lahat ng balahibo sa kanyang katawan nang nakita niya ang pamilyar na figura ng taong tumatakbo. And then, there was a realization on his face. He saw him. It was his roommate. It was Pascual. It's not a robber. It's not an intruder, but his friend. It was Pascual. The truth unfolded quickly, and Pascual had been playing a prank, a cruel, thoughtless joke. He had forced the door open, ignored Achong's warnings, and refused to answer, all just to scare his Chinese friend Achong. But the joke went too far, and Achong rushed to help him when he saw Pascual staggering. There was no anger, there was no rage, only shock at pagsisisi. Only the desperate hope that it wasn't too late, that he could still save his friend. But it was. Pascual died the next day. The law moved swiftly. Achong the next day was arrested and he was charged with homicide. In the lower court, he was convicted. To the law at first glance, simple lang yung facts. A man was killed by another na pinatay ni Achong si Pascual. As simple as that. At dahil namatay si Pascual, Achong had to be held accountable. But, ang argumento ni Achong, ang kanyang pinipilit sa korte ay hindi ko siya sinasadyang patayin. Ang akala ko, dinidepensahan ko lamang yung sarili ko. Na mga panahon na kinuha ko yung kutsilyo sa ilalim ng aking unan, ang nasa isip ko ay na ako ay nasa kapahamakan. So, the case reached the Supreme Court. The question before the court was profound. Can a man be held criminally liable for an act done under an honest mistake? The court began with a principle older than the case itself, actus non facitrium nisi mens setria. The act does not make a man guilty unless his mind is also guilty. In simpler terms, there's no crime without intent. Walang krimen kung walang intensyon sa utak mo na gumawa ng krimen. Ang korte ay inexamine ang state of mind ni Achong ng mga panahong nagawa niya ang krimen na ito. Ano nga ba yung pinapaniwalaan niya ng mga panahon na yon? Ano yung kanyang nakikita at ano yung kanyang nararamdaman nung aktwal na panahon na yon? And the answer was clear. He believed that a robber was breaking into his room. that his life was in danger and that he needed to act immediately in order to protect himself. And if those facts had been true, his actions would have been justified. Kung ano yung nasa isip ni Achong, kung naging totoo man yun, kung naging totoo na may tao nga talagang pumasok, may robber, may intruder nga talaga yung pumasok na yun, ang action ni Achong would be self-defense. At dahil prank nga lang ito, doon lang nagkaroon ng problema dahil si Pascual talaga ang tumutulak sa pintuan nila. And kung justified yung actions ni Achong, kung yun ay intruder, kung yun ay robber, then it is completely lawful because it is an act of self-defense. This is what the law calls the mistake of fact. The court explained that a mistake of fact can excuse a person from criminal liability, but only if the three conditions are met. First, the belief must be honest. Talagang totoong naniniwala ka sa bagay na yun. Second, it must be reasonable. And third, it must not arise from negligence. And in Achong case, all of these three elements was present. Bakit? It was dark and the door was being forced open. There had been robberies in the area prior to the crime. So there is a reasonable belief to the mind of the accused that he is really in danger, that there is really a possibility that the person outside his home is a robber or an intruder. He received no answer when he asked who was there. In fact, he asked two times and then the third time that he spoke, he gave a warning to the person outside. And he was physically struck when the chair fell. So, nung tinamaan siya, nung upuan, akala niya talaga, ito yung talagang nagpatibay ng kanyang paniniwala na nasa in danger siya because nasaktan siya ng mga panahon na yon. And everything justified fear. There was no recklessness. There was no reckless behavior and there's no intent to harm. Because nung mga panahon na yon, sa sobrang dilim, ang basis ng kanyang paniniwala ay kung ano lang yung nararamdaman niya at kung ano lamang yung naririnig niya. At ang nararamdaman niya ng mga panahon na yon is syempre he was struck by the chair. So there's no intent to harm. Only a man reacting to what he believed was a threat to his life. And so the Supreme Court ruled Achong is acquitted. The conviction is reversed and that he is not guilty of any crime. Because the law does not punish honest mistakes. It does not condemn a person whose mind was free from malice. It does not ignore the reality of human fear. What happened was tragic. A life was lost. A friendship ended in the worst possible way. But justice, it's not based on outcomes alone. It is based on intent, on the state of mind, on the truth. What a person believed in the moment they acted. This case gave us a doctrine that still stands today. A person who acts under a reasonable mistake of fact, believing in their actions are lawful, incurs no criminal liability. Because in the eyes of the law, it is not enough that harm was done. There must also be a guilty mind. And sometimes, the difference between guilt and innocence is not what happened, but what a person believed when it did.